All right. And I'm giving it away because we're going to have to start collecting submissions pretty soon. But essentially, the idea is to do that schedule didn't last long. The schedule stands. It's just Thanksgiving this week. But essentially, I'm going to do a Dr. Phil cosplay. And the idea is that I want people to get on the stream and we'll discuss an issue that you've been having. And I'm Dr. Phil, and it's not going to be serious. I don't want you to call me and ask for like real life advice. I want to have people on and we just talk about nonsense. You have a beef with one of your homies? I'll settle that beef as Dr. Phil. Green screen. We'll have sets created. It'll be fantastic. Now, I thought about not sharing that idea and just having people join up at random, but I think I'm going to do a little Google form so that I know what I'm getting myself into, and I know I won't be like sitting around hoping people get on. But that's the vision. That's the vision. Gotta shave the facial hair. Yeah, gotta shave the facial hair, and then I'll let the hair grow out some, and then we'll just shave up here. So we have the entire Dr. Phil look. I'll get the suit on. We'll pull up the green screen. We'll make some sets, and then let me pull up my Notion here. Dye the mustache. I might get that like spray dye that washes out. Need time to think of all the banger issues I have. Bet. I would love to do call-ins, but I would love if there was, and I'll be flexible about it, but I want to encourage face cam if anyone's able. If you're not able, like, that's totally fine. We could still do our little therapy session over voice. But basically what we're going to be looking for is like, you know, some stupid personal problems, some gaming issues, any funny relationship stuff. Like I said, if you have any beef with one of your friends, because that's really what Dr. Phil is. It's like the mom and like the child, or like the husband and the wife. So like if there's two people that have a debate that needs settling, we could do that. It'll be absolute memes. Platt, I appreciate you popping in, bud. Enjoy the rest of your work. Give me 1 sec. Hold on. Catch me outside. How about that? Yo, we might spark the next Catch Me Outside. You never know. You never know. But I think that shit'll be hilarious. Landseed, what's going on? What do you need help with? My power keeps going out. I'm not qualified to solve that. You know, this is gonna be more in the mind stuff. You know what I mean? I'd rig in the virtual camera and join with my VTuber avatar. Oh, dude, that would be sick. It's probably gonna be a few weeks before we do this, because I have some personal shit going on. Nothing bad. All good things. All good things. And I also got to let the hair grow a little bit so that when I shave just the top, it gives me that true Dr. Phil look. You know what I mean? So, and I'll also be watching some more Dr. Phil to get some ideas and inspiration, but I think it'll be a great time. So I want to tell you guys about that. I'll have a Google form soon enough for you guys to sign up with. And once I have that, I'll have the actual date for that stream. Has Ayla blessed this idea? Yes. Yeah, she thinks it's hilarious. All right, ran it by Cadence as well. He's like my content advisor in some ways. He loves the idea, and I think it'll be fucking so funny. Just to look at you the most. I want you guys to know I will be doing the Dr. Phil getup like right before the stream, and then right after the stream, I will be just shaving my head back to full bald as usual. Leth and Zerk should be awesome. I'll tell the boys about it. I'll tell all the boys about it, and then it's up to them if they wanna sign up. I came in at the perfect time. Yeah. Nobody was asking if you had blessed the Dr. Phil idea, since you have to look at me the most. But it's fine. It'll be a couple weeks of growing my hair out. I'll be bald. I'll be like horseshoe bald for a day, and then, you know, back to normal. You gotta sleep in it too. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. On the couch, in the dog. My what, guys? Reddit thread. Am I the asshole? I was just looking at the Discord. Anyway, Reddit thread. Am I the asshole? My my wife sent me to the doghouse because I dressed up like Dr. Phil and started giving people therapy online. Please help. Can you respond to my email I sent you? That's a crazy. Yo, we about to start sending stream alerts via email. Oh, I saw your email. We talk about that stuff on stream sometimes. There's nothing I can do for you specifically. If you want to learn to edit, there's like a gajillion resources on YouTube, and that's a better place to start than me. I can, like, if you know how to edit, I kind of have some advice, but you're just going to get generic answer from me, which is, you know, go on YouTube, look it up. You probably want to use DaVinci Resolve because it's free. Make stuff that's fun to make and do a lot of it. That's kind of the best I can do, because it's one of those things where you just have to do it a lot to get good at it. You know what I mean? So that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. Not the Morse code. Please respond to the telegraph I sent you. Hey, did you guys get the message in a bottle I sent out this morning? I've been trying to reach you via smoke signal, and I haven't heard anything back yet. What's up with that? All right, let's go to the Discord here. React submissions. I submitted some submissions of my own. We're gonna start with these. This one. We'll start with this one. This is a short one. Stand by. Let me see what else we could pull up here. I have two short ones that we're gonna watch. Oh, I'm logged into the wrong YouTube account. L own submissions. Listen, you guys know what you want to watch, but you're not the best at knowing what you want me to react to, if that makes sense. Some videos are better just watched regular style, if that makes sense. Anyway, what about your pager? Need a creative counsel to workshop ideas with? Love the general sillies you come up with. It's just, you know what I mean? Have you checked the owlery? We've sent an owl about your car's extended warranty. Please call back. To be fair, you are the guy who put us on Brian Johnson. That's a banger, though. That's a banger. It's a good running meme. We want the React scene pulled up here. There we go. Now, I have two bangers to start this. These are not my own choice. These were submissions from you guys. First, we got Super Mario Bros. Condom Trumpet. Already know it's a banger. One of my favorite things of all time is when people have like musical talent and they use it for just fucking memes, dude. Fabs, how do you find this shit? Does he pop it at the end? I hope he pops it at the end. This is the only correct version of this song, dude. I hope it pops at the end. I don't think you can pop these things. That's true. I mean, you can. Is that a Super Mario condom trumpet, or are you just excited to see me? We're gonna skip to the end because we all know the song. He doesn't even look remotely amused. Yeah, let's fucking go. Did it pop or did it just snap off? Hold on. Hold on. Playback speed 0.25. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. I still don't know if it actually popped or if it just slipped off. The other short one we got was interview Stephen Hawking with a human interpreter. Is this a bad idea? Should I not click play on this? It split at the back and went flying. Fantastic. Fantastic. Something tells me I just shouldn't click play on this. Who submitted it? A trusted person. A trusted person. It does look like just an interview. Stephen Hawking would have died for nothing if you don't play this.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities...
You wanted to be a scientist since age 9? That's pretty sick. What I wanted to be at age 9 is not what I wanted to be later in life.
Like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games. Was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me.
So in a sense, you went from modeling planes to modeling the universe.
Yeah.
I was never very good with my hands.
What a shame. What a shame that one of our greatest minds was in that position. Truly. Anyway, moving on. Bongo Cat update. Hold on, I'll get the Bongo Cat up for you. Hold up. That was beautiful. It was truly a capsule of a moment in time. It really was. Wait, why am I all alone in this lobby? Whatever, I'm not messing with Bongo Cat at the moment. Woo! All right, let's see what else we got here. We have worst types of humor. I have no idea what this video is at all. Worst types of humor.
I like them boys and I cannot lie. You motherfuckers can't deny that when a girl walks in.
Humor. Something everybody has. Someone might laugh at certain things.
Bro, my sense of humor is cooked. I'll just say that right off the beginning. Right in the beginning.
While somebody else might look at the exact same thing and sit there trying to figure out why anybody would find that funny. That's kind of how there's a saying that humor is subjective. Low key, it might be true, but lately it feels like humor has been evolving backwards. Like ever since those atrocious I can't birth comments, humor has just been struggling. Now look,
Since the atrocious what?
backwards. Like ever since the atrocious I can't birth comments.
Help, I can't birth? I don't know. I don't know the lore on that. Did you like that TikTok I sent you of Corn Dog Cat? Yeah, I did. That was fire.
Humor has just been struggling. Now look, I'm not no humor expert or anything, but
Yeah, okay. Help, I can't birth. Googling this in the other monitor for safety. Help, I can't birth. I've just gotten serious results. Help, I can't birth meme.
I have a question. How the fuck do you deal with clout?
The description says...
I really need...
Yo, it is React Day. The description is asking the question that we're asking, which is tell me why so many comments say I can't birth. We don't know the lore.
need to know. Out of all of the times that I tried to get a popular video...
Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. I don't know if we're getting the lore on this. Help, I can't birth meaning. I'm so confused as well. Where's the sound? I'm getting out of here. I'm not clicking on random TikToks anymore. That's too sketchy. We're just gonna have to take this guy's word for it that the help I can't birth was the downfall of humor. Ask ChatGPT. That's not a bad idea. ChatGPT, what is the meme help I can't birth about? See if we get anything. Yeah, we're gonna have to send this to the authorities and get some off-stream research going because I don't know. Don't forget the dash. Good comms, good comms. All right, I have GPT 5.1 thinking on the case, and we'll just we'll just take this guy's word for it in the meantime.
Comments, humor has just been struggling. Now look, I'm not no humor expert or anything, but I can tell
I am.
when something is funny versus when something is just straight up brain rot. Or so
Bro, all the Italian brain rot shit is so dumb, but the ballerina cappuccina, I say that all the time and I can't help it. I can't help it. It found its way in my brain and I can't help it.
just hear me out. Today we're going to be going over the worst types of humor. This list is astonishing. I can tell you right now, everything is going to be accurate. First on my list,
Is that loud enough?
offensive humor. I've seen a lot of people in my life with this type of humor, and honestly, it's the most corniest thing ever. It's just people repeating the same 3 jokes thinking it's gonna be funny after the 1000th time. Like you hear the same thing everywhere. Rice muncher and dog eater jokes every time an Asian person is like near rice. Or the
I feel like that what he's just saying just now is not offensive jokes. It's just like offensive. I feel like there's a zone where like offensive jokes are jokes and it's okay. But like the internet is just bad at everything. So I feel like most shit is out of that zone and just into the like not funny and just purely offensive territory.
usual suspect comments under a black person just existing. Like, bro, slow down. Then you got the other jokes aimed at other races. Like for Hispanics, people just like to call them beaners thinking it's funny. Like, bro, it's just so corny. I don't really get how a person chooses to act like this. There's nothing funny about it. And like anybody with this humor, if you show any reaction
I agree with the way that he's phrased. He's kind of saying what I'm saying. Like just saying shit just to say shit isn't funny.
that they just don't like, they'll go straight to calling you sensitive. And for some reason right now, the new wave is just hating on Indians. Like, bro, I promise you, they are not that bad. This humor is just pretty much pure racism.
Why did he say they're not that bad?
Edgy or funny? It's just
an observation.
Embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, this type of humor is basically when people think being chaotic is comedy. It's like the type of humor that just relies on shock value. Yelling stuff like, arson, I just committed tax evasion. Like,
Dude, that's like fucking like 2013 fucking quirky like millennial I'm so random humor.
they make it their whole personality. Or just yelling out 6-7 every single second. Like, bro,
6-7. Sorry.
it gets to a point, nobody's laughing at it. We aren't laughing at it. This humor is like the same energy as those perfectly cut screams. But like, people with this humor tend to do it in real life. Like, honestly, when I first heard of this online,
RXD, I'm so random. DannyLotus. Wait, what's wrong with DannyLotus? Lanny's here. See?
I didn't think it was real until I saw it in person. This type of humor usually comes from people who just live off Reddit or Dank meme.
I feel like that kind of humor is funny for like edits. You know what I mean? Like unexpected stupid edits are funny.
Like, there are so many memes from Reddit that just like perfectly describe someone with this humor. Like this one, inhale meme, exhale meme. I'm so funny, right guys? And when I say this next part, I'm so serious. They'll start losing their mind when a disabled person shows up, or them just laughing over the most stupidest things. Like
That's why I didn't laugh at the Stephen Hawking video.
YouTube ad when a teacher's trying to play a video, specifically those Grammarly ads. Like, everyone in the class can be quiet and you can just expect them to laugh because of an ad. This humor pretty much ranges from like trying to recreate memes in real life.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That humor comes from fucking edits and memes.
I don't even know what to call this one. People online call it pretty girl humor, but honestly it applies to anyone. And before y'all start hating, I've been talking about this. I made a video like 2 months ago which low-key became a little viral, so thank you guys. Anyways, this humor is just so annoying. It's like every second has to be spammed with the same phrase over and over. Like this one, clock it. I still don't even know what this means.
I don't know what that means either.
Start to tweak out, and somehow it stems right into the classmate humor. Because ever since 6-7 became a thing, it just made this humor like 10 times worse. Then you got the you're so funny, please don't go bald. You are so.
It's too late for me on that one. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't encountered a lot of this humor. I think I'm too unk. I might be too unk for these these branches of humor.
Funny, I'm buying you. It's like the most bottom 2 things you could say. And I'm not trying to start a gender war, but I'm not gonna lie, I've mostly seen this humor between girls. Like, tell me one time you've seen a dude acting like this. If like anybody can send me proof, I'll send you some Robux. My friend also told me a story about a few people with this humor.
6-7.
Apparently
You can't say that in the bald stream.
one day,
that's what
some
I'm
girls
saying.
asked them, are we best friends? And the dude said yes. And honestly, I didn't even know what it meant until I looked it up. And I'm guessing it's probably like an indirectly type of bullying. I don't know. And the other comments from the people with this humor are even worse. Like, there are some certain posts you could just imagine the comments hurting your brain. Like ones under guys' posts that say stuff like, raw, I meant aw, to my throat memorizes every vein. Like,
Jesus Christ. Sydney Sweeney is the definition of pretty person humor. I haven't seen many humorous Sydney Sweeney videos in my day.
Who started this? And the TikToks that's like signed to make your homeboy sing California Girls. I don't want to talk about this, just watch it on your own. Or those videos that's like hitting my 5 emos against the world, and it's just them doing the most unfunny things imaginable. But apparently pretty girl
What if they're not trying to be funny?
humor isn't like a compliment. It's like saying you've never had to develop an actual personality, so you just say random things to sound interesting. Also, the arrest me daddy part in there, I don't know how you guys find that funny, but it's low-key whatever.
I haven't seen that shit
Now
either.
we got femboy humor.
Nobody type it.
This humor is just based off femboys. Like, I'm not even lying, that's legit what it is. Every single joke has something to do with being obsessed with femboys and wanting to have some kind of intimacy with them. I want to
There,
crack femboys.
there it is instantly.
I really want a femboy to control me. I love femboys. Like, bro, I personally feel like this humor is like bottom 5. It's not even funny, it's just weird. Like, anyone with this humor is in the same category as those people talk about, I want a tall goth girl to dominate me. Like, their entire sense of humor revolves around being
I don't think this is humor. I don't think this is a category of humor.
overly sexual online. Like, you could say one normal thing and they'll somehow make it a femboy joke. It's like comedy for them is just thirsting over a dude wearing high socks for thighs and like a mid outfit. And like,
I don't know. The femboy jokes in our in our stream were pretty good though. But they have a lore. They mean
these femboys
something.
like the same thing over and over. And when you call them out on it, they start talking about who said I was joking. Like, bro, I can guarantee if you're seeing an actual femboy in real life, you start laughing. And I can just tell, most definitely for a fact, talked about I love you or yaoi. Like, considering of being online, you can always tell when someone has a humor. It's like once you see their profile, you can already tell what type of jokes to make. Like, bro, be yourself. I promise you, you do not act like that. The whole thing about this
Femboy
humor
stream right
is
now.
just being
No.
down bad. Like, bro, not everything has to be a sexual joke or about cracking femboys. Sometimes, bro, it's okay to be yourself. Dark humor. Something I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of or seen of. Like, I can't lie, I've seen this humor multiple times growing up. It's like the humor people use when they think making a racist or tragic situation to a joke makes them funny. But
Break
it's
it.
just dark
Ayla,
humor.
you are
Like, this
my
humor is
wife.
built off shock value.
Why is my wife asking me to do a femboy stream? Excuse me? You're supposed to be on my side. Am I crazy? Okay. Okay. You're banned. You're banned. And this is how I banned my wife from my stream. She's a woman of the people. She is not. She is an agent. She's a paid actor. How much are you paying her to say these things?
Value. You can always tell when someone's about to make one too. There's a little pause before they say something horrendous. Yo, why did the black, like, bro, that's all I need to hear. Dark humor isn't even creative. It's just people.
That's not what I think of when I think of dark humor, though. More than you pay your mods. Dude, this guy's got to hang
This
around
guy's
better
racism, that's
circles.
funny.
What the
Like,
hell?
bro, they can say the worst thing ever and talk about it's just a joke. Like, bro, you're not edgy. You're just a dork. And it's always the same things. School shootings, orphans, slavery. Like, bro, we get it. It's like being weird just means being funny. And people of this humor always call people soft when they just don't laugh. Like, bro, you're not
W
funny.
speed again. Dude, I really feel I hang around cringe people. Why are they cringe? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's like categories of humor that I would not categorize as like bad. He's basically like insert a genre of joke and then insert an example of someone trying it and it not landing. Why is this humor bad?
Reddit humor. The type of humor that feels like it's been stuck in 2019 for a while.
This vid seems biased. This guy's not mentally left middle school, dude. He's just, I don't think he just is around any funny people.
And just like chooses not to
Because like if you're around a funny person, they can make like almost everything funny.
evolve. Like, bro, I get it. Big Chungus existed, but the joke's been dead for years. At some point, you gotta let it go. But people with this humor still acts like it's the most funniest thing on earth. Even people still calling chicken nuggets tendies and chocolate milk chalky milk.
This guy's got to watch that Kurzgesagt video that we watched on fucking relaxing. At first, I was with him. I was like, okay, here's some. This is some like, you know, cringy stuff, whatever. Like offensive shit has a point where it's just not funny and it's just offensive. But I feel like this guy just needs to chill the fuck out.
Like we're still
Most shit is funny if you just lighten the fuck up.
acting like we're brain dead. If you see this humor being used, it's pretty much pointing out the obvious and acting like it's sarcasm. And don't get me started on the comments. Someone could send like a picture that's clearly not funny, and the replies are talking about, I'm stealing your meme, hippity hoppity, your meme is not my property. Don't mind me stealing the meme above, or the one from Phoenix of Ferb. Behold, the steal your meme inator. Like, bro, you don't need to announce every single thing you do. It just doubles down. Like, come on, bro. There's no way you actually find them funny. I can just tell people with this humor still make those "my dad left me" jokes for milk, or those
I don't
like,
know, bro.
I have crippling depression in the
I
most
don't know.
obnoxious voice ever.
I
What
stand
makes it
by
worse
what I
is how this
said.
humor managed to infest TikTok. Like, back in the day, I can remember countless videos of Reddit users just hating on TikTok for being unfunny. But now those same dank memes are all over the app. You'll see people using that dry "I'm so random" tone, or just making jokes about gambling and drinking beer while driving like it's the most funniest thing ever. It was never funny, it's just exhausting. And that's all, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like this guy has like an internal thing and is using this as an outlet to to just fucking bitch and vent. This poor man has no life in him. Someone give him an ice cream sandwich. Where is your sense of joy and whimsy, my man? Back in the day is 2020. That it truly is tragic. That truly is tragic. I don't know. I definitely think that this guy just fucking needs to chill out, man. Holy. Anyway, what do we got next? Oh, Bass sent one about Minecraft. We might save this for a little bit later. Finding crack? What is this, bro? Is this a fucking YouTube poop? I'm not reacting to a YouTube poop at this time. That guy would not be happy with us following up his video with a YouTube poop. I'll tell you that. Dude, that's me not hiking.
Okay, so we got the 2 chicken nuggets, and then the number 1 that's going to be $22.50 at the first window.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Or my pleasure. My pleasure. I said my pleasure. I said my pleasure, right? Fuck, dude, you gotta let me in. I said my pleasure. I said my pleasure. You can ask him. I said it.
People don't know this, but the same thing happens to you if you ever infringe on Nintendo's copyright.
So that was 2 chicken nuggets and a number 1. That's gonna be $20.55 if you just pull around to the front window.
What happened to the other guy?
So there was no other guy, but if you just pull up, your food will be ready.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's every man ever when he pulls up to a urinal. Just sigh. Okay, we have this Minecraft video that's like 40 minutes long, but allegedly is crazy.
What are...
And we also have the genetics of the strongest possible human. I'm interested in this. Thoughts? Thoughts? What are we feeling? We also might play that password game as well. Genetics. Bet. Ryan Johnson video. He hasn't done anything crazy yet. That, to my knowledge, we'll check.
What are the limits of human strength? And
Dude, we were talking about this. Not even 2 seconds into the video. We were talking about this when we watched the Kurzgesagt stress video about how there's like those situations where like a mother will have just so much adrenaline and shit going on that she can just lift a car off of her child to save them, and like how there's like that superhuman shit that you tap into. So I'm very curious about this.
what are the limits of human strength, and what does that limit look like? Strength means a lot
It looks like this. Anyway,
of things to a lot of different people. To an arm wrestler, it looks like this. To a powerlifter, it looks like this. And in China, it might even look like this. So to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's go.
you guys are training those, right?
And in China,
You guys are training this? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you're actively training this? Oh, okay. Just me? All right.
it might even look like this. So to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's go ahead and narrow it down.
Sen,
We're
what's up,
going to
dude?
use the sport of strongman, which is arguably the most well-rounded strength sport in existence. We're going to look at the absolute genetic limits of human performance and ask what is required to
Cormies, you're banned.
push those limits forward. And in the process, we're going to build the perfect strongman.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sorry.
Bartle Apparel's Black Friday sale is kicking off with steep discounts on any pants, joggers, or jeans. Do not wait, go now. Now, we all think of muscle as the biggest, most important aspect of strength, and while it is certainly important, your frame is going to determine what your baseline potential is. It determines how much muscle you can hold and how efficient you're going to be when you actually go to use it. If you take a squat or a bench press, the most optimized build is going to be the ever sought after Chad Dachshund build. Most of your height
The fuck is a Chad Dachshund build? What?
going to be in your torsos, and your legs are going to look like little malformed nubs. Now, while hyper optimized,
Wait, say that again?
Chad Dachshund build. Most of your height is going to be in your torsos, and your legs are going to look like little malformed nubs. Now,
Yo, can we get like an artist render of this guy at the end,
while
please?
hyper optimized Hobbit builds have broken the sports of powerlifting and Olympic weightlifting, this actually isn't very useful in day-to-day life. It turns out that the perfect strongman build is going to be two things: tall and apey. Tall because it's easier to load to high platforms when the platform is at your belly button. It also gives you a longer stride for moving events, and it potentiates more mass. I know many of you are already feverishly typing pound for pound in the comments, but stop and think for a minute. If you had to ride a bird, you wouldn't pass up the ostrich because a
Mahjong Wen
has a higher dot score. We're talking about limits, and that means maxing out the things that push those limits further, and with strength, that means being big. Capiche? So those
that makes sense to me. Bigger person, stronger person. That's valid.
prototypes in
I've also never played Mahjong, by the way.
strongman have already existed with Hafthor Bjornsson, Brian Shaw, Tom Stoltman, all men that are 6'8" or taller and weigh.
Bro, have you ever seen this shit about this guy's name that I can't pronounce, Mr. Bjornsson? Like going through like he went through like crazy like mental like training and shit to be able to like deadlift a certain amount. Like basically would send himself into like imagining that his family was about to die type of shit, and like really getting to the point where he was like believing it, and it really like fucked him up mentally, like trying to do all that, like because he was trying to tap into like his natural adrenaline and shit.
On the
He donated me a kidney. Oh hell yeah, it's probably a strong kidney. Oops.
order of 200 kilos at their peak. Now, height is distributed on a bell curve in the
Sounds unhealthy. Yeah, there's like some interviews of him talking about it, and he was like crying and shit. It's like fucking horrible.
population. There are going to be a lot of people centered around the average global height of 5'7.5" for men.
Yo, height check in that chat. I'm over here. I'm on the right side of the bell curve. Get rolled.
And every inch increase in height becomes exponentially more rare. Be sure to remember this in the event that you see my wife on the street, so that you can remind her that her husband is in fact a tall man. The physical stature of the giants and strongman is very
6'4" W. I'm in the top 2% W. Yeah, my son, I believe he's getting his mother's height. He'll be short.
rare indeed. 6'9" is estimated to be 1 in 50,000 people. And to push that limit a bit further, to clear 7 feet, you're looking at 1 in 10 million. So if you're mapping out the genetic blueprint of this perfect strongman, you might just look at the pituitary gland and think, I'm just gonna supercharge that sucker. We're going to infuse all of the gigantism that we can into this specimen. This fetus is gonna be flooded with more growth hormone than a deceased IFBB pro, and we're gonna make sure this thing makes Andre the Giant look like a pipsqueak.
Bro.
Now, there is a problem with taking these genetic shortcuts. The flood of hormones that results in this egregious amount of growth tends to lead to wonky bone growth, leading to things like scoliosis. You end up with nerve problems from.
Don't taller people die younger as well? Is that true? Did someone fact check that?
The bones impeding on the actual nerves and blood vessels. And even though the muscles themselves are technically bigger, they're not structurally sound. The flood of hormones can actually lead to something called acromegalic myopathy, and it's muscle weakness due to the growth hormone.
I hope you give your child a spoonful of HGH with every meal. Yes, sir. He gets creatine and whey protein in his formula. In fact, that is his formula.
metabolic and structural changes. And it's actually not uncommon for changes in joint mechanics to cause instability, especially in the knees, shoulders, and ankles. You got Andre the Giant, who is 7'4", was using braces and canes by his 30s. And colleagues in the WWF recalled that he could no longer lift opponents by the late 1980s, even though he was a monster. And Andre wasn't even that tall. Consider Robert Wadlow.
7'4", wasn't even that tall, by the way.
Who was a record 8'11" tall. I mean, we're not even in the human species anymore. He couldn't walk without leg
That's
braces.
absurd.
He had no sensation in his feet and lower legs, and he suffered repeated infections from the braces, which led to sepsis and his death at the age of 22. Okay, so maybe we should
22, Jesus.
leave the pituitary gland alone. We can get a very tall person just by waiting for an extreme outlier in the general population. We've had a 7-footer represented in the World's Strongest Man winner pool in the form of Ted Vanderpart. We can also consider giants in the NBA like Shaquille O'Neal, who obviously had the capacity for incredible size and strength. Maybe one day more NBA players will wisen up, and instead of chasing silly things like $1 million contracts, they'll join us in our makeshift strongman gym that our moms let us set up in the backyard. Now, short term, I do see the talent pool of strongman expanding to capture more people that are in this category. However, if we're going to consider man-made fiddling, then we have to consider that it's not an astonishing proposition that in the near future, tall parents are probably going to engage in some genetic selection to make sure that they have taller children. And we've already seen—
Bro, that shit is crazy. The designer baby shit. What's the take on designer babies in the chat? If you're having a child, are you modifying its genes to optimize it? Because I'm not. That feels very wrong to me. It's pretty freaky to me. Yeah, I'm not on board with that. Only if there's something that's wrong. Yeah, that I could see. Like, oh, by doing this, we'll save this child from a lifetime of suffering X, Y, and Z. Like they are bald. Fucking. There you go. Get timed out.
Guys desperate to meet the unrealistic standards of women in the online dating pool go under surgery to crack their legs in half and extend them 3 to 6 inches to make them considerably taller.
I think that's so weird. I hate to be judgmental, but people doing that is so weird. Like getting your legs broken to make yourself taller.
3 to 6
like
inches.
there are more important things in life, I feel like. I'm back. Welcome back. I'm gonna have to mod you.
Taller.
Dennis, getting ready to lift now is Sergei Akhmudov of the Soviet Union. His trainer has told me that he's taken anabolic steroids, Novocaine, NyQuil, Darvon, and some sort of fish paralyzer. Also, I believe he's had several cocktails within the last hour or so. All of this, of course, is perfectly legal at the All-Drug Olympics. In fact, it's encouraged.
Given the enormous amount of PEDs,
aren't they doing an actual like Olympics, like a sporting event, where like PEDs are allowed? Let me look that up really quick because I'm pretty sure that's a thing that's happening. The Enhanced Games in May 2026. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video on it really quick. We'll watch it after.
State-sponsored sports programs give their young athletes, and the fact that they seem to have no qualms with playing God, there is no reason to think that in the near future we are not going to see young Chinese weightlifters in wheelchairs while their femurs heal in service of producing a master race of gold medalist Olympians. The average person, oddly enough, has an ape index of 1, meaning their reach is about the same as their height. But if you want to be able to comfortably wrap around
the
400
ape index
pound
is
sandbags
sick.
and lock deadlifts out on your kneecaps,
Can I go to my doctor and get my reading on the ape index?
need a build that is actually more similar to swimmers, climbers, and MMA fighters. Michael Phelps is reported to have an ape index over 1.05. John Jones and heavyweight Sergey Pavlovich both have ape indexes that are on the order of 1.1. And at the far extreme, you have Stuart Jamieson, who deadlifted 286
Oh my God!
kilograms.
Look at that build!
At the far extreme, you have Stuart Jamieson, who deadlifted
Predictions, chat. What is this on the ape index?
280.
That's got to be a 1.25. If Michael Phelps is a 1.05 and these guys are 1.15, that's got to be a 1.25.
7.1. And at the far extreme, you have Stuart Jamieson, who deadlifted 286 at 60 kilograms. Because as is evident here, torsos just get in the way. Even if taller people tend to...
That's such a crazy build. He looks like a Street Fighter 6 custom character. Dude, that's wild.
Extreme,
just seeing him walk out is crazy.
Who deadlifted 286 at 60 kilograms. Because as is evident here, torsos just get in the way. Even if taller people tend to have a higher ape index, the odds that we get a 7 foot...
He didn't tell us this guy's ape index?
Are on the order of...
Hold on, what's his name?
And at the far extreme, you have Stuart Jamieson.
Stuart Jamieson. Stuart Jamieson ape index. Damn. There's no results. There's no results. That's unfortunate.
Who deadlifted 286 at 60
I just love watching him walk out. That's crazy.
As is evident here, torsos just get in the way. Even if taller people tend to have a higher ape index, the odds that we get a 7-footer with a John Jones-like wingspan is going to be about 1 in a billion. Now you might think that's a long shot until our doc here puts his online biomechanics degree to use. Now you might be crying, but what about my overhead press? In strongman, that's not really much of a concern. Overhead pressing is 1 out of 5 to 7 events typically, and the biggest pressers in the sport haven't typically had very short arms. Hathor was actually one of the best pressers because sheer brute mass is such a big driver of pressing strength more so than just leverages. And that brings us to the next important piece. We've got our frame. What about the materials? There is one.
Travis, what's up, dude? We are trying to find out Stuart Jamieson's ape index reading. How you doing?
Of a mutation.
Yeah, it is React Day. We watching videos and hanging out.
More muscle fibers and more strength to anybody who happens to possess it. When the MSTN gene is completely knocked out, you get 60 to 100% more muscle mass and 50 to 70%.
I believe there's drugs coming out, by the way, that are like Ozempic for building muscle, essentially. Well, I don't believe that. I know that. There's like 2 of them. It's like Trevgramab and I forget what the other one is. But they basically like uncap the thing that whatever it is that limits your muscle growth. So I guess that's what we're doing with our genetic super baby here. Funny enough, I just got back from the gym. W, what'd you hit?
Completely knocked out, you get 60 to 100% more muscle mass and 50 to 70% more absolute force production. Now, while we've seen this in mice, we've seen it in cattle, we've even seen it in breeds of dogs, it is extremely rare in people. The one case study that we have is a child that was born in Germany in 2004 who was born with double muscle thickness, and they had 30% greater grip strength at age 5 than most adults.
Chest,
okay, so
W.
far we've got selective breeding to guarantee our guy's gonna be over 7 feet tall. We got the limbs cracked and reset, and we genetically edited this freak so that they are just double muscled like crazy.
Freak.
Yeah, I think he's ready. Let's see what we got here. Oh no. Who could have saw that coming? I wonder if God also feels like he's in a permanent game of
Legs are tomorrow, dude. It doesn't matter. I could be going to the gym for 30 fucking years. I will always hate legs.
whack-a-mole. Grab some more duct tape. We're not done. You don't need genetic modification or a time machine to go back and swap out your parents in order to get jacked. You just need a proven training template and the means to personalize it to you. Base Strength AI adjusts volume and intensity minute to minute, day to day, block to block according to your tolerances to keep you in the pocket. There is no anxiously
cracks me up seeing dudes with thighs so big. Makes you wonder how they even got their underwear on.
A bad workout.
For real.
Everything is automated specifically to you. It could not be easier. This is not generative
Yeah,
AI.
bro,
These are
I'll
my
always hate
programs in
legs.
your back pocket, personalized to you at 1/10 of the cost of an online coach. So put your gains on autopilot this year. Go to basestrength.com. So if we want bones and tendons durable enough to handle the immense forces that we're going to put our boy under, we can't just crank up bone production. Just like with giantism and even PED use, the geometry of the tissues gets all messed up. So even though there's more of it, it's actually weaker. It's kind of like using more steel to build a bridge shittily. Now there's a handful of genes that can show improvement here. You have the COL5A1 rigid variant, you have the TNC variant, which shows enhanced adaptation under load, and you have the LOX variant that
I don't care how big my
increases
legs are. I
stiffness
hate
20 to
legs.
30%.
Same, dude.
Now since we're just picking
I need to
genetic
hit
types,
legs
like
more.
their paint swatches at home
I haven't
Depot,
been in the gym in like 2 weeks, dude. I think it's like going on 3 weeks now. I gotta get back at it. I'm like, I've been so thrown off the rails, just like schedule wise.
we might as well grab a few for insertion depth as well. The further down a tendon inserts, the greater leverage it has on that limb. So the same amount of muscular contraction is just going to lift more weight. But when you take that out to the extreme,
That sounds like
the top
cheating.
2 to 3% of the population,
You're missing sauna time, dude. I know. I've been so busy, dude. I'm getting back in the gym soon though. I might not go to the sauna though. I might just do like bodyweight shit in the meantime.
they may have a 40 to 50% difference in lever advantage. If you're looking at a freak of pound for pound strength and they don't have obvious leverage advantages on the lifts, it's highly likely that the advantages are hidden in tendon insertions. Apply this to the immense amount of mass that our boy's 7.5 foot frame is capable of holding, and we've got a recipe for some truly alien shit. But now we're at the point where we have to ask if the bones will even be able to handle this amount of force.
This part I'm interested. This part I'm very interested in. Whoops.
Cortical strength is 200 megapascals, and that's in an untrained couch potato. That means that your fat cousin's femur could support a small sedan before snapping in half.
Oh,
to
huge.
put this in perspective, Neanderthals were estimated to be at 1.8 grams per centimeter cubed in their bone density, which is 30 to 40% denser than elite human athletes. These estimations are higher than Brian Shaw's bone density, which was estimated to be 5 sigma, or 1 in a few hundred million. But all isn't lost for humanity. There is still some genetic wizardry at play. A rare genetic case involving the LRP5 gene was discovered in a Connecticut family with bones so dense they had solid white x-rays. The family's density was measured between 2.5 and 3 grams per centimeter cube, which is 50% higher than Neanderthals and Brian Shaw. This made the bone near impossible to penetrate with typical surgical drills, and none of the degenerative effects usually associated with excessive bone growth plagued any members of the family. The only notable features
The
they had were
fucking
extra wide
Bones family, dude.
jaws and some bony growth on the top of their mouth. And I'd say that's a small price to pay. If we're gonna pull a Dr. Moreau and cobble together an 8-foot human furry and make it run with 5 times its body weight, I think we're so far in that a bumpy mouth, really not a lot to worry about. Now the odds of getting this trait organically is next to zero, let alone with all of the other features that we've insisted upon so far. But in the near future, when you're selecting your athletic destiny the way you're putting toppings on a pizza at Domino's, yeah, I'll take extra LRP5, hold the anchovies.
Yeah, but I don't want no bone growths in my mouth. This is disgusting.
We know that muscles produce strength, and we've made sure that we got plenty of muscle, but we haven't quite unleashed it yet. See, your genes had the foresight to
Domino's mentioned. Too bad. No, pick up that tractor.
proof your body. By putting a governor on how many motor units you can recruit at once, it makes sure that you're not flying off the handle like a drunk teenager behind the wheel of his Camaro doing donuts in the parking lot. Now with hacking your nervous system, we can start level 1. These are common genes that bias individuals towards more motivation.
Don't forget to floss the roof of your mouth. It just made that whole mental image like 10 times worse.
And more aggression. But these are still more normie gene variations, are pretty common in the population. We're here to push the limits. So what does the next step look like? Level 2 involves the SCN9A gene. You might have seen this in a movie before. This is the genetic variation that makes it so that you cannot feel pain. No pain, no gain? How about no pain, all the gain? This eliminates one of the primary obstacles to training, and that is the sensation of pain and discomfort. Shoulders a little achy? Maybe for you, I'm about to throw this bench press to the moon. You're praying to Jesus to make it through that last drop set of lunges? I'm listening to Spanish phrases on
Yes,
audio.
I am. Yes, I am, dude. My legs get fried so fast.
And just think of how much money we're going to save on ibuprofen and DMSO. And we don't even have to worry about injury from tendon or muscle ruptures because we've already supercharged our specimen with tendons that could support the Golden Gate Bridge. Now to bring this back to reality, this might not be as cool as it sounds. For one, these guys can't sweat. And
also, not being able to feel pain would be awful. You would never, I feel like you wouldn't know if shit's wrong.
life-threatening in a ball-busting do-or-die gym session. which isn't great. And also pain is kind of required to learn to not do things that might kill you. I imagine one of these guys tearing through a dirty bulk feed sesh after a ball-busting deadlift workout, pouring the olive oil on the large pizza and scarfing it down as fast as they can, only to start like biting their cheek, and they can't tell the difference between cheek and pizza, and next thing you know, you chew through the side of your face. But remember guys, we're not here for second place. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. So how about I just breed a few dozen of these 7.5 foot myostatin disabled, pain-free mutant freaks and hope that like 2 or 3 of them make it past puberty. Bob's your uncle, we're setting world records. But guys, we're not even done yet. That was only level 2. Level 3 is going to guarantee that we squeeze every possible ounce out of every single muscle fiber that we have slapped on
pain-free mutant freaks. Yo, is it wrong if they don't feel pain? There's the moral dilemma.
Frame.
Should we abandon this project? Is it still wrong? But like the follower you get in Fallout.
Concerns the MAO.
Never played Fallout.
Called the Warrior Gene.
Caught.
Now, when this thing's taking it easy, it's not doing its job. That's actually linked with higher aggression. And in extreme cases, when it's completely knocked out, you get Brunner syndrome. And while it's been associated with cognitive impairment, violent behavior, and problems with impulse control, the trade-off is, you guessed it, retard strength. I mean, look, we could have basically just manufactured our version of Absolute Bane, given our guy a Super Soaker backpack filled with trenbolone acetate, and called it good. But with Brunners, you get basically the same effect, and you just don't have to carry around the backpack.
Cool. We'll take it.
This is what we've got. Extreme height and leverages that are plausible to see in our lifetime, paired with some genetic anomalies that are less plausible. But we know that the capacity is there, and if they occur together in the right mix, we could get something.
Let's go math.
Truly mythological. But
1.1. So yeah, that guy had to be 1.1, right?
Time we can make these genetic edits anyways, we're gonna be like the aliens from Independence Day. All of our ability and our value to society is gonna be determined by our completely man-made exoskeleton, and nobody is going to care about the body composition or strength levels of the sad little alien nugget that exists on the inside. And on that note, I'm off to go buy a robot slave. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave your by the time we can make these genetic
1 in 10 quadrillion. Pedla, how you doing?
Aliens from
how much can he bench?
All of our ability and our value to society is going to be determined by our completely man-made exoskeleton, and nobody is going to care about
Sherilyn, how you doing?
Composition or strength levels of the sad little
Danny is my babe. Not true, actually. I'm married. Thank you.
Nugget that exists on the inside. And on that note, I'm off to go buy a robot slave. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave your comments below. Till next time, this is Bromley. I'll see you.
Well, that was fun. My favorite part was fucking Stuart Jamieson. For sure. Look at this guy.
And at the far extreme, you have Stuart
what a unit.
Jamieson, who deadlifted 286 at 60 kilograms.
I love
because
Stuart Jamieson.
Here, torsos just get in the way. Even if taller
That's
people
fucking awesome.
tend to have a higher ape index, the odds that we get a...
I couldn't find any info on his wingspan. That's sad. That's sad. Now we can't crunch the numbers. Logan is my babe. All right. Thanks for letting us know. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, chat, and then we will see what we're watching next. BRB. Oh wait, who am I? What am I? I'm about to go be away for 1 minute and 30 seconds and not give you guys intro fighters. L streamer, dude. What? Okay, never mind. It's intro fighters is broken at the moment. It was part of a wedding on Saturday. Miriam and I had a few drinky drinks. I asked for Jack and Coke, and I got Jack and Jack with a drop of Coke. Hey, that's getting your money's worth. Yeah, intro fighters is broken right now. Sorry about that. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes, though. Oh, also for Twitch, I'm going to run an ad so one doesn't have to play when we get back. Twitch Prime, by the way. Be right back. I am back. It was open bar, so they got their money's worth. Oh, so they got their money's worth. I just think after the fourth one of that much, I should have really thought if it was too much to drink. Hey, you're at a wedding, dude. You're supposed to have fun. All you have to do is you say a quick prayer before the drink. You say, Brian, I'm sorry. You apologize to Brian Johnson before you hit it. I mean, that's pretty sick. Demo saves, goals, assists, maybe? I don't know. It's kind of all I got. W chair react stream. Dude, my chair is a really good reactor. Wedding also had a completely trashed dad try to sneak in with his son, who he turned away. Freaked. Oh, jeez. Can't score, but have to win. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I don't know. I'm not really in brainstorming zone at the moment. Let's see. We may watch this next. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Look who showed up for the React stream. W. All right, what did I miss? Ads are done. Let's see what we got. Oh, let's see what these shorts are, Cormies.
All right, all we would need.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen those guys. I like those guys. All right, let's see. AI learns to walk. Deep reinforcement training. This shit is scary. He showed up for the chair. That's true. The real star is the chair and the fork. But can he learn to walk? Yo, I've used this background song in Leth videos before. Albert can control each of his limbs. And is rewarded for getting closer to the target. How does that work? How do rewards work? Does it just say like that's good and it's programmed to know that that's good means that's good? That'd be my guess, I guess. Yo, we taught the AI how to do the worm by feeding him little treats. Hell yeah. Just like a dog, you feed the AI little treats. Now I'm gonna be punished for hitting the ground. Rewards are no longer gets electric shocks. The Hassan method. I like it. The worm's not working here. Oh, he's getting it. He's not getting it. You need to get a lot better with your legs to learn how to walk. He's balancing. And he just got Hassaned. I'm invested. I've seen some of these before. To the chamber. Pulling out the shock collar. The torture crank table. Classic, dude. Skipping is better than the worm. What are they gonna teach it next? Or like, how are they gonna change the environment is what I want to know. Come on, Albert, you can do it. Does he get it? Let's go. He'll be forced to turn. Oh God. Give me flashbacks from teaching my son how to walk. Unprotected. Oh no, not the unprotected scalp and balls in the sauna. His fertility, dude. Come on, Albert, you can do it. What's Brian Johnson up to? He's gonna get this eventually. Brian Johnson 50-minute video about ketamine. That's hilarious. Let's go, Albert. You've got it. Skipping ahead. He's like one leg walking. Now it's time to learn to take real steps. For this room, you need to learn to deal with cubes. What does that mean, deal with cubes? They're abusing this thing. You'll be rewarded for alternating feet, and the reward is you don't get smacked in the face with a fucking cube. I like it. And he's down. And he did it. I'm skipping.
Propaganda and app.
Whoops. Oh, he's got it. That I think we count that. Go, Albert, go. I'm rooting for him. Yo, those boxes ain't shit. Dude, machine learning is so interesting to me because, like, what do you mean the machine learns? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? We still never found out what help I can't birth means. But oh well. I guess we'll never know. We don't need to know. He do be stepping. All right, now this one we got testing North Korea's illegal smartphones. Sounds pretty fucking interesting to me.
These are two extremely rare phones from North Korea, and it's kind of insane that I'm even holding them. The North Korean population is so cut off from the outside world that it's almost impossible to even get a text message out, let alone two fully functional smuggled phones that show us in...
It's absurd that like North Korea is the way that it is in 2025. Like you don't think about it in the day-to-day, but that's just fucking wild.
Crystal clear detail what it's actually like to be a North Korean citizen. So this is the Heian 701. It's one of the country's budget phones. Just to give you an idea of how little is known about this stuff, you can Google the phone's name and nothing will come up. Absolutely zero. And then the second is the Samtaesung 8, which is a flagship
Samtaesung
phone. And yeah, this is different to South Korea's Samsung, which translates to 3 stars. This is Samtaesung,
That's
which
so
translates
fucking
to
toxic.
3 huge stars. You're going to be seeing a lot of this whole my dad could totally beat up your dad energy. But that's because convincing North Koreans that they are superior to South Koreans, that they are morally purer and militarily stronger, is about the most effective way of keeping them loyal to the government. And it's pretty clear when you look at these phones that the smartphone is playing a big part in that. I can actually show you this right now.
I'm surprised that the smartphone even exists at all. Cooked them. Absolutely mogged. 3 stars when 3 big stars walks in the room. Gulp.
Trying to type on these phones. So if I write Namhan, this means South Korea. The second that I hit the spacebar, that gets auto-corrected.
Bro.
To puppet state. It is.
Wait, what?
Is seeing censorship this explicit happening in real time in front of my eyes. You physically cannot send the word Namhan even if you try, which shows just how committed North Korea's government is to sustaining its narrative that South Korea is this inferior, less individual country that just blindly follows whatever the US asks them to. Other ways of wording it, like Republic of Korea, that doesn't even get corrected. That just turns straight into asterisks, kind of like
I feel like you'd be put on a list for even typing it. That's not censorship, that's brainwashing. Yeah, that's next level shit.
You're a child and you just tried to make your Club Penguin username a swear word. And you can actually see the censorship becoming more invasive as time is going on. Because if we use this Heian phone, which came a few months before, this one lets you write North Korea as North Korea, but the Samtaesung doesn't even let you do that. The only way that you're allowed to refer to North Korea now is Joseon, the traditional name for the Korean kingdom. And then South Korea, almost as if they're belonging to them, as South Joseon. But it gets worse, because Daily NK News, the guys who actually secured these phones in the first place, and whose basement I'm sitting in right now, they've probed
I feel like they'd have power, like you'd have to be worried about getting like fucking assassinated or something. That's terrifying.
All sorts of extra oddities in the software, like how if you type Kim Jong-un, the name of the current leader, into any app, it will make the text bold the second you finish the word. Or how all sorts of South Korean slang is just
Jesus. That shit's like, I feel like all that shit adds up too, like to add on to the brainwashing. they put Kim Jong-un's name in bold. That's wild.
The name of the current leader into any app, it will make the text bold the second you finish the word. Or how all sorts of South Korean slang is just subtly corrected to the more proper North Korean approved way of saying the same thing. Presumably because a lot of this slang originates in some capacity from South Korean media. And the North doesn't want their population to even indirectly experience that. But probably the single craziest example of this is if we type oppa. This is a common South Korean expression that can be used to mean either older brother or in slang terms, boyfriend.
Excuse me? That's a strange slang to me, just on its own, just as a side note.
That can be used to mean either older brother or in slang terms, boyfriend.
Do we have any weird slang like that I'm not thinking about? Dude, my mouse keeps double clicking and making it full screen. It's pissing me off.
That can be used to mean either older brother or in slang terms, boyfriend.
이거 좀 따주세요, 오빠.
Which in itself does raise a few questions. On these North
Sounds southern. I don't know.
Korean phones though, it corrects the word to
Imagine calling your boyfriend big bro.
comrade, accompanied by a warning. This word can only be used to describe your siblings. Imagine getting a warning for attempting to type a slang word. That's
help me big bro. That's I guess we have obviously we have our own weirdness, but I don't know if we have any slang that's like directly like that. The on-screen warning is crazy though.
Imagine getting
You'd be afraid. I'd be afraid to even think of a wrong thought.
A warning for attempting to type a slang word. That's moderation on a level that I have never experienced before. But I would say even more significant than autocorrect, the biggest factor in controlling information going in and out of North Korea, and the main reason that the country is still this cryptic bubble and we barely know these phones even exist, is the internet situation. Or really,
the whole country's got to be on a LAN, right? Technically.
Look at this. On the Heian phone, you can swipe down from the top and you see your control panel that looks basically the same as every other Android's. And there's even a Wi-Fi button there, but when you press it, absolutely nothing happens.
Why even have the button? I feel like they went so far as to change words and put warnings on the screen. Why would they have the Wi-Fi button even there?
Let's go into settings to click on Wi-Fi directly, but you can't. And they've actually gone a step further with this more recent Samtaesung, because you go into the quick settings.
Oh.
There isn't even a Wi-Fi.
They're working on it. They thought of that.
It's like they don't want you to even consider that the feature could be as accessible as that. The only way to get something that even resembles Wi-Fi is this. It's called Mirai, and it needs so many details from you, including your government ID and an authenticated North Korean physical SIM card, that it's pretty safe to assume everything you do while using it can be traced right back to you. And even with all of that, this still doesn't get you onto the internet. There's actually no way for a North Korean citizen to do that. All this can get you is access to a highly curated North Korean intranet.
Yeah, the North Korea LAN, bro.
Approved TV, news, propaganda, and apps. More on that in a bit. But the key thing to know for now is it doesn't look like it would be a great experience. The app itself tells you to expect speeds between 2 and 33 megabits per second, less than a 14th of the speeds that South Koreans are getting on their public Wi-Fi. I imagine the way that North Korea's leaders are seeing this is they know that the second they give their population access to the open World Wide Web, it's game over for being able to control the way they act and think.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they can't give the people nothing if they're trying to convince them that their country is truly superior to all others. Hence this careful substitution of traditional.
I'd be very curious to know like what percentage of the population is like going along with it because they're scared. That's what I would do. And what percentage is just like fully bought into all of it.
Wi-Fi features for this highly traceable Wi-Fi equivalent that reinforces national pride as opposed to diluting it. But those speeds are so dated. And to be honest, everything about using both of these phones feels dated. Like, it's pretty sad that this Samtae is one of their modern flagship phones. It was only released recently in 2023 in North Korea. It was priced pretty close to $1,000, but it looks like a mid-range Huawei phone from 2021. Actually, let me be clear. It really looks like a mid-range Huawei phone from 2021. I'm almost getting deja vu looking at it. The way the camera module has an identical style and position, the way the body and the screen curves around in a seemingly identical way. Even this incredibly unique Huawei style.
Is it actually a Huawei phone?
And this red line in the middle of the power key is the same. Plus, for security reasons, I've got to keep the IMEI number hidden. But when we traced it back, it does look like this phone was manufactured in China, just like Huawei phones. So I think there's two possible explanations. Either this phone was actually secretly made by Huawei themselves and supplied to North Korea for them to add their software layer, or Samtae just decided, we like the look of that one, let's copy it. Because
I feel like it's more likely that they just copied it, because I feel like they'd be too concerned about, you know, anything nefarious, and by nefarious, I mean nefarious to them, like slipped into the phone. You know what I mean?
About to see this yourselves, but so much of the content on these phones is copied content already. Why not the phone design too? But also that, unlike the Huawei that this looks so similar to, this phone does have a thicker bezel and a notch, this extremely tasteless font on show throughout the whole user interface, and then the only form of branding on the camera is.
I read Yeonmi Park autobiography and it seems like it's straight fear. Yeah, I'd be really curious. Like, too bad we can't fucking take a survey, but I would love to know what percentage is just fear and then what percentage is bought into it. Like, is it like 10% of the people are fully bought in? Does everybody know that it's just fear? Like,
a feebly written 64 megapixel that gives me absolutely zero reassurance it's going to be a good experience. And it is not. On the Haeyang phone, we're just getting extremely poor, grainy image quality all around. And even though there are 3 cameras on the back of this phone, there is still no ultra-wide and no zoom. So both extra cameras are just useless macro and depth cameras. A trend that, globally speaking, started to die out pretty fast after 2020. And so the idea that this thing released in 2023 with that kind of setup shows the time lag that we're operating with here. And then on the flagship Samtae, the camera is super buggy. We couldn't even get it to flip around to the rear cameras. And it's also got this really unusual watermark plastered over it, which when we reverse, it spells out, please contact Hynetron. Now, I did a little digging and turns out Hynetron is a small private China-based company who makes a lot of smartphone parts. So it kind of looks here like they've supplied some of the bits for this phone, but then North Korean Samtae has just like not paid their license fee or something. Regardless though of whether this phone is a secret Huawei collab or just a blatant ripoff, it doesn't change the fact that it is terrible value when you consider the global market. But that makes a lot of sense.
I feel like that's the least of our concerns with this fucking phone, no? They didn't pay for the license to use it? Surprise Pikachu face, huh?
A very unusual market that has almost no competitive pressure. There's almost no incentive to give people cutting-edge tech. And if anything, the more dated the tech, the simpler it is, and therefore the easier it is going to be to control. That would also explain why the Haeyang is still running Android 10 with seemingly no ability to update beyond that, and why Samtae is stuck on Android 11.
He hit the turn on Wi-Fi button and it sent his exact GPS location to Kim. Dude, that's what I'm saying. I would be like with the warnings and like the autocorrect and like all that shit. I'd be afraid to even type the thing that was going to get autocorrected. Hell no. Hell no, I'm not Mr. Hero over here.
Making it 5 years worth of updates behind current Android. Let me show you what I mean by all this copied stuff. So there is an app literally here with a Microsoft Word logo. You open it up and it gives you the option for Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. But I can assure you what you are getting here are not Microsoft apps, not even close in functionality. I would actually go as far as to say that at least 50% of the icons that you see on these phones are stripped directly from other companies, like File Manager and Compass. Those are basically Huawei icons that are very slightly reskinned. Maps is an almost one-to-one of the Google.
I mean,
Maps
why not?
icon.
If your tech's behind, why go through the work of designing anything? Just yoink.
Random game uses the same icon as the Mobi Office work application. But let's just zoom out for a second. Even the official Samtaesung wallpaper, I'm pretty sure they have literally just downloaded the wallpaper from an Honor phone and then added an 8 to it. And then if I go over here to the About phone section, I recognize that image. That image is actually stripped straight from the promo material of the completely different looking Huawei Mate 30 Pro phone from years ago. And yet it is serving as the poster image for the Samsung.
Bro, the devs got it easy over there. Just yoink. Just yoink and twist.
8, which makes me side with the theory that this is a copy of Huawei as opposed to made by Huawei. Because if it was made by Huawei, surely the company would use an image that at least matched the design of the phone. There's a whole library of informational videos that you can buy as part of North Korea's intranet, like this one, all about the football club Arsenal. And on the face of it, you're like, oh, this
They don't have internet. How do they get all these images? It's all run by the state, like by the government. The government has plenty contact with the outside world. The top of their government, they know what's going on. It's all government controlled and owned. So like top officials can fucking go and yoink that shit. You know what I mean?
It's really premium, how professionally produced. But look a little closer, and you can see this is actually ripped straight from an Amazon Prime series. It's just instead of Stay in the Game, it's titled Sweat for the Win. And it's got the logo of a North Korean company plastered across the entire length of it. But there is literally no way that this North Korean company could have bought the license to sell this content, since there are literally sanctions on US companies like Amazon for collaborating with them. There's games too, tons of them, but I just want to show you this football game for a second. It opens with, bizarrely, the same logo that we just saw on the Amazon Prime show, so it seems like this is some sort of large-scale media redistribution brand who's taking international content and making it North Korea compliant. Then we see the boot-up screen.
I didn't think about that either. They don't even have to do it themselves.
With the game's
if they can find someone they can pay to do it for them, to steal it for them.
Being International Soccer League 2.0, which is just so interesting because this shot of Messi's face, I reverse image searched it, is not from International Soccer League 2.0, but instead a screen grab from a trailer of Japanese-made Pro Evolution Soccer.
I was gonna say, it looked fake, it looked AI or something.
Fascinating about this football game is the Asian players are missing. Like, you can select the team, Tottenham Hotspur, with all the correct roster as of 2022 when the game was launched, but with the only South Korean member of that team, Son Heung-min, not present. They just chopped him. Again, presumably to not show North Koreans that South Koreans have proper international athletic careers. In fact, just the general situation with apps in North Korea is so different to what you and I are used to. The first thing that jumps out is there's just so many of them. Like, have you ever seen this many apps pre-installed on a smartphone? This right here.
Well, there's probably no app store, right? You probably just get what you get and that's it.
But a medicine app where you can order whatever you might need for home delivery. There's maps with navigation too, although fascinatingly, it doesn't show a clear dividing line between North and South Korea, and also doesn't let you zoom any further out than the country itself. It's a little bit more advanced than I was expecting in some ways too. Like, there's a store here where you can buy things like smartwatches. What
do you learn about the Great Firewall of China?
An electronic wallet, and it's part of the intranet. It's also on this phone, really surprising to see if we look past the logo that is very clearly
got me
just
a link,
an
bro.
NBC ripoff. This is online gambling, with even the option for sports betting, as well as just a pretty.
You can gamble in North Korea? That's probably smart.
You can download onto the phones
to keep people controlled.
The North Korean government's influence permeates every layer of this, even the types of movies available. I couldn't find one from the US or South Korea, but Russian movies? Loads of them. Remember, the criteria here is not which movies does the North Korean population like the most, it's which movies does the regime want the population to watch. And so it makes sense that it's all filled with Russian content since Russia is one of North Korea's closest political allies. And Russian ideologies line up very closely to North Korean ones. There's also, weirdly, a bunch of Indian movies, including ones that I've seen before, like 3 Idiots. The link between North Korea and India isn't as clear-cut, but the guys from Daily NK have a theory that Indian culture hits a bit of a sweet spot.
Pulled up to see Danny watching the 3 a.m. YouTube vids. Yes, sir, it is React Day. Franklin, how you doing, dude? I've not watched that vid. I just know about it already, but hopefully it's a good vid. But yeah, Mondays we do React stuff.
It's kind of different.
Good, I'm good. These North Korean phones are crazy, bro.
Enough to seem exotic and interesting to North Koreans, but while still not posing a threat to their culture in the way that Western content does. And then there's just a whole load of apps that feel not just guided by the government, but directly requested by them. Like this one is entirely biographies of past and current North Korean rulers. Something else I've never seen before is a general guidance app, which is split into 4 categories: laws, regulations, a legal dictionary, and then common sense, which really is exactly what it sounds like. It's so strange. It's like, how should we legally understand the family? Who are relatives? Can't relatives marry? I wonder if the idea is giving every single person the same set of ideologies and learnings, and even there's like a humor section here, so that they effectively become the same person to squash individuality. There's even a cooking app which guides you through how to make traditional North Korean cuisine. And all of these more official looking apps, they open by first showing you a famous quote from one of their leaders, which so feels like something you'd see on the loading screen of a dystopian video game. But this is real life.
That is so fucking crazy, bro.
Games to play. Why is this one booting up with the Delta Airlines logo? Most of them feel pretty simple, with a big emphasis on offline play, which is true for the whole phone experience. It's actually wild how much we've been able to show and do, and that's all no doubt because the internet situation in North Korea is so sketchy. So crazy amount of stuff on both of these phones. But there's a very good
How did bro even get his hands on this phone? I guess he had what did he say? He mentioned who got him the phone. It was like some group that like tries to get information out of North Korea, and they smuggled 2 phones out.
For that. See, getting new apps is not as easy for North Koreans as it is for us. They have an app store. You can download apps on your own, but, and I can't actually quite wrap my head around how this is the reality, you can't open those apps until you've taken your phone to an in-person store where they will authorize them for use and download the necessary back-end data for them to function. And believe it or not, there's an extra wrinkle that comes with this. Your apps in North Korea expire. So this one here is telling me it's run out and is basically asking if I want to pay for 6 months or for 12 months for a bit of a discount, effectively making every app a paid subscription.
So the whole, so it's just, if it's all like state regulated and like that's what you get, then it's just a tax. Like it's just extra taxes essentially.
Ones you would not expect to be, like the laws of North Korea. Bearing in mind, North Korea is one of the poorest countries in the world, with its national income per person being just 3.4% of that of South Koreans. This feels like a pretty tough pill to swallow. I think it's likely that just the concept of being able to sustain a large library of apps is a luxury that very few will be able to afford. And that's assuming you can even afford the
that's the only way they could flex in North Korea, bro.
Phone in the first place. Now, even if you did find a way to sideload your apps without going to a physical store for that authorization,
I'm sure your shit would get flagged and you'd get fucking killed, would be my guess.
Or if you found a way to get around the app expiration system, which we realize you could temporarily do just by changing the date on your phone to an earlier one, there's a very important reason why you might not want to try that.
That's the 7-zip strat, bro. Just change the date on the device like you're trying to jump around in Animal Crossing.
Expiration system, which we realize you could temporarily do just by changing the date on your phone to an earlier one. There's a very important reason why you might not want to try that in North Korea. And it's called Red Flag. Red Flag is an underlying layer of surveillance software that appears on all phones sold in North Korea. We know it exists because we can see the effects of it, and I'm told older versions used to be really easy to see and get around, but in these newer phones, red flag is now baked into the lowest level of the Android software, making it almost untraceable and impenetrable. Plus, it blocks off developer settings, which you can normally unlock by tapping this build number several times, meaning that it stops you.
Was the actual brand name or brand of the phone? Here, I'll show you. It's actually wild. Here, we're at 1640. Remember that.
Actually see the censorship becoming more invasive as time is going on. Because if we use this Heian phone, which came a few months before, this one lets you write North Korea as North Korea, but the
where is
try
it?
to make your club blindly follow puppet state. It is
period. Was it in the very beginning? No.
That's worse because Daily NK News, the guys who actually secured these phones in the first.
There's your answer on how he got the phone.
Even exist.
It's like Haeyang, and Sam Tae-sung, and he said that Samsung means 3 stars, and Sam Tae-sung means 3 big stars. First minute or so, Bally, how you doing today?
These are 2 extremely rare phones from
those were the names though. I'm not gonna go digging. It was Sam Tae-sung. Samsung means 3 stars. Sam Tae-sung means 3 big stars. Absolutely mogged. Samsung, absolutely mogged by Sam Tae-sung.
That it stops you figuring out what is really going on behind the scenes. But the idea several times, meaning that it stops you figuring out what is really going on behind the scenes. But the idea of red flag is to persistently make sure that what you're doing on your phone is legitimate. So every file, every app, every photo that you take has a digital signature, a record that signals to the phone where that file originated from.
Bro, this is exactly why I said I'd be afraid to even type in some shit that got auto-corrected. I'd see the autocorrect and then start saying goodbye to my family. Immediately. Started this video the other night, didn't finish it. It's pretty good. Whoops.
Red flag makes sure that the only files or apps that can be opened on these phones are either ones with the North Korean government signature or a self-signature, which is files that originate from the phone itself, like photos from your camera. Anything else originating from anyone else won't have an approved signature, and so will not open. It'll just get automatically deleted by the software when it's sent to one of these phones.
So
now, that doesn't seem to have stopped people from trying to get unauthorized content to work. There's an extensive report from
free speech, by the way.
Martin Williams and Niklaus Scheiss, which goes into how some would try to skirt the system by opening foreign files via the phone's web browser. But now that the signature checks are happening on a deeper device level, it can pick those up. It doesn't work. Or there was a Daily NK report last year that mentioned while North Koreans couldn't store outside videos on their phones, they could insert SD cards containing the material into their phones instead. However, there is one final, very sinister surveillance feature, clearly designed to deter any attempts at this. These devices, both of them.
Watch Hunter Williams breaking North Korean laws vid? Bet. Samsung didn't start as an electronics company, it started as a grocery trading company. That's interesting. Makes me appreciate living in the US a little more. That's what I'm saying. W free speech. Shout out free speech. Fucking, is he about to say that they just like openly tap into your camera and mic whenever?
Clearly designed to deter any attempts at this. These devices, both of them, will take periodic screenshots.
Yep, there it is.
You don't see these screenshots being taken in the same way that you'd expect to. But you know it's happening because I can actually show you the folder where they're being stored. I can see this has actually been taking screenshots today while I've been recording this video. The frequency of the shots seems to vary, but it's many times per day. And the most alarming part of it is all you can do is look. You can't click on them, you can't check them, you can't delete them. Now, whether the phones are sending those grabs over the intranet to the government continuously, or if they're just used
For sure. If they're not, they're going to be in the next version, dude.
Official has doubts about you and wants to specifically confirm their suspicions, it's anyone's guess. But would you want to risk it in North Korea?
Hell
Based
no.
on accounts from people who've escaped, this is a country which, since at least 2020, has had a law that spells out distributing and even just watching South Korean entertainment is punishable by death. People who distribute this content are tried alongside drug criminals. It's considered the same tier of crime, which says a lot about the priorities of the regime. So it really feels like every part of these devices, from the words you're allowed to type to the video.
You're better off not having it. in my opinion.
Videos you're allowed to watch are designed to reinforce a single narrative. North Korea is superior, foreign influence is dangerous, and everything you do is being watched. It makes me very grateful for how easy tech is made for the rest of us. I'm kind of curious, compared to the hour that it would take to go to a physical store to install a single app on a North Korean phone, how long does it take to install an entire internet connection with Saley, our sponsor? So search for South Korea, click that. Let's do 5 gigabytes, $10.99, go next. It's loading, and now I click Apple Pay, buy with Apple Pay, and payment is processing. Confirming order, processing order.
W sponsor segue indeed, dude. That was
Done.
clean.
20 seconds.
That was very clean. I haven't done a lot of React content, but all the React content I watch, they usually let the sponsor play, so
It cost me $10.
we're doing that. Seems like
because they
React
support
etiquette.
Almost every country. It doesn't matter where you're going. You can just have one app for all your travels. So head to saley.com/boss and use the code BOSS for an extra 15% off.
Think of all the music they don't get to hear. Dude, think about all the everything that they don't get to anything. Here's a link for anyone that wants it. For the original video. Fucking crazy. I want to watch. We're gonna watch this next. Well, how long is this? 27 minutes? What time is it? We told Fabs we would watch this. The Great Firewall of China. The evil business of China's Great Firewall. And then if we don't get to watch this Hunter Williams video that Leth recommended, skip it. This is long. They're all long, brother.
North Korea.
I'll throw it on. We'll see. We'll feel it out. We won't commit, but we'll start it. But if we don't get to this today, we'll watch it next React stream. I'll actually put it in the Discord right now real quick. Bang.
To the Great Firewall of China. Yes, yes, yes. It's all very exciting. But before you can cross this cleverly named digital abstract concept, we're going to have to go over a few of the ground rules. Here in the world's most Homo sapiens saturated country, the internet has been censored and controlled since the 1990s. You won't be able to access things like Facebook, Google, or your
Bye, Cormies. Thanks for hanging out, dude. I appreciate you. I'm surprised we didn't get any TTS spam from you today, dude. But enjoy your food.
But what we lack in basic liberties, we make up for in green screen workout videos, inventive cookout techniques, and more mobile games than you can shake a credit card at. And while you in the decadent West waste your lives flicking between the same 4 apps, in China, you only need one: WeChat. WeChat has made things like wallets, the news.
What was that Chinese app that got like Americans got on their servers? It was like Red Label or Red something? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? What was the China social media? What was that called? It was like Red something. I forget. That was like very brief.
And those skull-based tracking chips we were working on completely.
Redno, yes, Redno. Not RedTube, not Tube. You guys both had the same idea at the same time. That's funny. No, it was Red Note. And now I'm curious, because I don't really know a lot about China's like censorship. Like I know there is censorship, but I don't know like the extent of it.
Obsolete. And it's made its parent.
We about to learn something.
Tencent richer than all of the Communist Party's most.
Dude, Tencent owns fucking everything, by the way.
Things like wallets, the news, and those skull-based tracking chips we were working on completely obsolete. And it's made its parent company, Tencent, richer than all of the Communist Party's most corrupt officials combined. China's cyber sovereignty is now ironclad and utterly irreversible. But it wasn't always this way. Back in the second last year of the Dragon, China's internet infrastructure was still being outsourced. In fact, the first bricks in the Great Firewall were laid by an American company, Cisco. But it wasn't too
Cisco. W Music, dude, every year we get flooded everywhere, like billboards, radio, like waiting rooms for like flyers and pamphlets for like this, what's it called? Shenyun, yeah. This shit every year we're flooded with like all of this shit. and it's everywhere. It's like an absurd amount of advertising, and it's like a live performance show about China before communism. And like at first I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, but then with like just the sheer amount of ads, I'm like, what is up with this? Savannah, what's up, dude? Ballet? I don't know. It's like I think it's like a musical and a dance, and like just shows off Chinese culture before communism, I guess, allegedly. Well, I think we can decide in the edit, you know what I mean? Or you can say it and then we can decide whether to keep it in after the fact, if that makes sense. Leth has ties to communist China? I don't think so. Release 2 videos. Fuck A/B testing thumbnails. A/B test the entire videos. Can I ask you to play a song? You can ask, but I'm not going to. I'm just being honest with you.
Simply filtering out.
But W Cisco, and I'm still curious about that Shen Yun show.
American company, Cisco. But it wasn't too sophisticated, simply filtering out forbidden URLs and keywords related to politically sensitive events like the one that didn't happen in 1989.
That one definitely did not happen in 1989.
It was essentially a civilization-wide porn filter. And actually, China's censors are just as concerned with keeping pornography off the Chinese internet. But as any monitor-glued teenager knows, you can bust through your school's firewall as quickly as you can one-ply toilet paper. Back then, determined Chinese net users were bounding over the Great Firewall with relative ease, leading President Sploogestein himself to confidently assert that the internet would take China into
President Sploogestein is crazy. Remember you from the Rocket Racing days? I used to love your vids when I hit Unreal on Switch. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, we haven't touched Rocket Racing in a long, long time. I'm on my full variety arc these days.
New era of openness and democracy.
And just for anyone in here now, every Monday is React Day. We watch YouTube videos, we hang out. I watch the stuff you guys send in the Discord, most of it, and it's a good time.
Democracy.
Now, there's no question China has been trying to crack down on the internet. Good luck.
Stream every day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday I stream. Except I won't be live this Thursday because of Thanksgiving, but I will be live Wednesday instead.
That's sort of like trying to nail Jell-O to the wall.
Wait.
Trying to crack down on the internet. Good luck. That's sort of like trying to nail Jell-O to the wall.
Got him. Mogged.
By 2008, the world's longest-running civilization was using the Olympics to drum up the idea that they were the new superpower on the block. While they had total dominion over 2,000 desk pounders, the internet was still proving a challenge. Using programs like Freenet China, adventurous web surfers were still able to access the international internet. Really,
this video's edited hilariously. It is solid. I love the way he came up there. So happy you started that. Danny Reacts his Pog. Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't sure I was gonna enjoy React content, to be honest. It's fun though. I enjoyed it a lot. The first React Day we did is like low-key one of my favorite streams in like months.
Though the CCP wasn't and isn't that bothered about suppressing information. They're not like North Korea. Well, not for the most part.
The CPC fights for Chinese men. The CPC relieves people's pain.
The CCP primarily wants.
It's trying to get fragrance tellers to smell fart spray. Holy shit! Wait, I gotta add that to the. I'm adding that to the list of React content really quick.
To control the internet so it can suppress any kind of collective action that happens outside of the party structure. That's why they went so hardcore on practitioners of Falun Gong, a goofy new religious movement that sprung up in the early 1990s. It's basically Tai Chi for park-dwelling Chinese grandmas, but because of its sudden and explosive popularity, the party saw it as a threat and crushed it quicker than a fortune cookie. Anyway.
Yeah, I might watch that after this, Leth. If I don't, I'm gonna watch it next week. I'll DM you if I end up watching it tonight, but we'll see how much. Depends how much time we have left. Because I pause like an ungodly amount. We've been 3.5 minutes into this video. I think it's taken us like 15 minutes.
Tech giants were having trouble keeping up with the innovations spearheaded by Western tech companies like my own big tech overlords. After an initial ban back in 2002, Google.cn returned.
Now, Franklin, I don't think so.
To the Chinese internet in
Together we mog everybody as a unit. You feel me?
In 2006, after a few my own
Go
big
back.
tech overlords. After an initial ban back in 2002, Google.cn returned to the Chinese internet in censored form in 2006. After a few years, it was the #2 search engine in the country.
Did you ever watch Searching for a World That Shouldn't Exist? No, but I will watch it next week. I forgot about it low key, and then by the time I got to it, it was too late in the stream, because of how long it is. So on the bright side, that means you didn't miss it.
Lagging behind its
Anyway, go back. I'm lost. Google.cn returned to the internet.
The Chinese internet in censored form in 2006. After a few years, it was the #2 search engine in the country, only lagging behind its well-established clone, Baidu. But it was already pulling ahead in maps, translation, and mobile search. And this was a major threat, as the vast majority of Chinese internet users are part of the industrial working class, who really only access the internet through their mobiles. That was true then, and it is still true now. And that's crucial to understand if we're going to understand the internet in China generally. Feeling the heat, Baidu released this commercial featuring a stand-in for the company defeating its Western counterpart in a medieval search engine competition. Beating him so badly that he steals his wife and makes him vomit blood. Baidu, we slit the
Mogged by Baidu, dude.
throats of our enemies and fuck their wives. But it's
W
easy for
advertising.
companies like Baidu to stick it to their Western competitors when they know that Pooh Bear and his Politburo always have their back. The more success that Google found, the greater pressure they felt from the government, leading the company to pack their bags and leave the country for good, and allowing Baidu to completely dominate the Chinese search market. But this wasn't enough. China needed their own Facebook, their own Amazon, their own Twitter.
Of course.
Apparently. Luckily, China's intellectual property laws are as flexible as their underage Olympic gymnasts.
Weird joke.
Their first major social media success came with the launch of Sina Weibo in 2009. What started as a Twitter copycat quickly became something more as its user base grew exponentially. It's still enormously popular.
That's kind of smart though, to keep your control. Just immediately make your own copies of everything.
Today, and it's where you can catch waxed-faced boy bands hocking plush toys of its logo, or America's second favorite roid head apologizing for calling Taiwan a country.
Bing chilling. Chat, should we learn Chinese?
Its cutesy childish avatars and mobile unfriendly design meant its most loyal user base was made up of Chinese elites and their spoiled brats who could afford personal computers. And these guys were posting the one thing that was more terrifying than their perfectly photoshopped selfies.
Yes.
Their opinions. Verified accounts on Weibo, known as Big V's, became visible and influential enough to publicly, if lightly, critique the government. A venture capitalist named Charles Schuer accrued more than 10 million followers and used his platform to post American stats about Beijing's air quality, forcing official government sources to correct their sunnier but
This guy doesn't live long in this story, does he?
plainly inaccurate figures. Although most Beijing citizens could already contradict those figures with the evidence accrued in their lungs. In July 2011, there was a disastrous high-speed train collision between Beijing and
Japan on top,
Fuzhou.
though, real.
Despite being one of the worst train accidents in modern history, it was conspicuously absent from front-page news. The government buried the story, along with the train carriages and some still-alive victims at the scene. But on Weibo, the stories from front-page news. The government buried the story, along with the train carriages and some still-alive victims at the scene. But on Weibo, the story spread too fast for the censors to control, with some brave users actually travelling to the scene to document the cover-up in progress. At this point, things had gone too far. Charles Schuer and other Big V's were invited to tea with government officials, which is a common Chinese euphemism for getting a massive bollocking, where they were told to post more positive opinions. A few weeks later, Charles was arrested for soliciting up to 10 prostitutes. He was later allowed on state TV to apologise and to blame Dutch and Thai sex workers for leading him astray in the first place.
That's crazy. I'm surprised they didn't just kill him.
To remain on the side of the censors, Weibo hired their own in-house content moderators to keep conversations in line. And since then, this has become standard practice for any Chinese tech company that wants to stay in business. And that's where Tencent comes in.
Yep. That's crazy.
Now, Tencent is a very complicated company, and it's why it's taken me...
They can't just off him, it looks sus? I guess. But like, you know, people die in jail all the time. People don't kill themselves in jail all the time. You know what I'm saying? Wait till you look at what games Tencent owns. I said at the beginning, Tencent owns fucking everything. Everything. Tencent owns like a piece of fucking everything if they don't own everything. Doesn't they even own a... Let me look at this before I say it. Tencent owns, according to Google AI, Tencent owns 48% of Epic Games. Or no, 40% of Epic Games. Just as an example. I think they're majority... Are they majority owners in Riot? Tencent, yes. Tencent fully owns Riot Games. I'm sure he's going to go into it in here. But yes, Tencent owns a lot.
Understand how they work. It is an enormous techno empire that is surpassed in domestic power only by the Communist Party which it kowtows to.
In 1998, a group of young people got together in this small office and created Tencent QQ. It captured the hearts of the Chinese youth and became a cultural phenomenon.
Tencent cracked the Sino social media market all the way back in 2005 with its MySpace clone, Qzone. And from the outset, Qzone was self-censoring harder than a gender studies major. While political chat was strictly forbidden, its chat rooms became a safe haven for some of China's most cringe-tacular online communities. Notably,
hell yeah,
a short-lived Chinese subculture where rural teenagers cultivated elaborate
That's like the Scene Kids, bro. We had that too.
Glam rock hairstyles and other reasons for their peers to curb stomp them. Qzone, though, is just a cul-de-sac in Tencent's kingdom. It owns the country's most popular social network, online payment platform, and rivals Alibaba as its leading e-commerce giant. It is like if one American company owned Facebook, PayPal, Amazon, Tinder, the concept of email, and Spotify.
What about those companies BlackRock and Blackstone that own shares in fucking everything and own like 80% of the S&P 500? Isn't that kind of similar? I feel like it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. But he's saying, imagine if one company owned all of this. We got companies that own a lot of everything.
Amazon, Tinder, the concept of email, and Spotify.
The concept of email is crazy.
Tencent does own.
What about Jimmy Buffett? I think it's as crazy as like BlackRock and Blackstone, Berkshire Hathaway. Who owns? Let me look this up. Of the S&P 500, I'm pretty sure. I think it's BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street combined own like a shitload of the S&P 500. It's BlackRock you're thinking of? I always get the two confused if it's BlackRock or Blackstone. I think it's because I think Blackstone is the one that bought a bunch of single-family homes, but everyone was saying BlackRock, and now they're just two evil wizard named companies. Like, think of the evilest company name that you can think of, and you're coming up with either BlackRock or Blackstone.
A 9.
They own it in funds, which other people own through them. Gotcha. I think it's Yellowstone. They're rivals.
Tencent is also, crucially, the world's most profitable video game vendor, making Steam look like the Wii U e-store.
Still
And it's
sketch, but
only
it's
a
not like they
slight
alone own it.
exaggeration to say
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better, but not great.
that its entire empire was built on mobile game microtransactions. Well, that and copying international IP and selling it on to its countrywide captive audience.
Yeah, why not?
Tencent's biggest moneymaker is Honor of Kings, a 5 vs 5 battle arena game that is grindier than a Jamaican dance hall at midnight. The gamers amongst us will have also noticed that it is a scarcely disguised League of Legends clone.
You know that Spider-Man meme with Spider-Man.
If they own Riot, why do they even have?
It's like that.
A self-made
Why do they even have a clone?
clone in this case, as Tencent.
Oh, man discovers that watching more of the video reveals more information.
Each other. But it's like that.
A self-made clone in this case, as Tencent bought Riot Games in 2015 and got them to make a Chinese historical version of their greatest hit.
Yep.
Honor of Kings is also much easier. Use the left-hand side of the screen to move around and the right on various attacks. Anything else you interact with in the game usually involves using in-game or real currency. This is what makes it the most profitable video game.
Jesus.
The most profitable video game. Not just in China, not just on mobile, the most profitable video game in the world. And if you're like me, you might ask,
9.9 billion, bro.
how can that be true? Well, mobile gaming serves a larger social function in China than it does in the West. With limits on expression and social media function, mobile games are inseparable from the social networks that they're available on. Imagine if Facebook went all in on Farmville and Mafia Wars instead of that photo filter app for narcissists and
Bro, I forgot about Mafia Wars. I loved that shit for a little bit.
Picks, and you get the idea. Honor of Kings and games like it are easy to play and highly sociable, with teams needing to converse in order to play it properly. In a relatively introverted culture, people can use avatars and purchased items as a means of personal expression. In 2018, over a third of the Chinese population were playing mobile games.
That's crazy.
More than the combined total populations of America and Japan. And those numbers have been rising since.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Average users also spend between $1 and $10 a month on these games, and that's where the revenue.
You see that text? No, wait, I missed it.
Playing mobile games. That's more than the combined total populations of America and Japan, and those numbers have been rising since. Average users also spend between $1 and $10 a month on these games, and that's where the revenue
Oh, I didn't go back far enough. We missed
the
it.
Communist Party, being the fairy tale villains that they are, smelt children having fun and decided to put a stop to it. In 20...
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I did see that. $1 to $10 a month feels not that bad. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't say it, but I thought it in my head. Sending stream notifications telepathically now. Yeah, I don't know. $1 to $10 a month isn't bad at all. People spend more than that on World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft subscription's like $15 a month, so it's just a volume play, dude.
Villains that they are, smelt children having fun and decided to put a stop to it. In 2018, Tencent was forced to install daily time limits on how long children and teenagers could play the game, with party officials fearing its addictive power and the corrupting influence of historically inaccurate tits. But the government continues to tolerate Tencent's profitable gaming wing because it can do something that the Communist Party itself is insanely incompetent at. Recently, the CCP has increased funding over 500% in order to influence the West. But they haven't been doing a...
Oh, this was 4 years ago. I was going to say, was this within the past year? Because do you guys remember, like, a few months ago, the wave of videos that were like, United States City? And it's like, let's find, like, the worst street that we could possibly find with, like, the most, like, homelessness or crime or, like, uncleanliness or whatever. And then it's like, and oh my God, China's so good. And it'll show like this beautiful like city with like all these crazy like technology, and like I felt like there was just like a wave of that content going around for like a month or so, like earlier this year. And I thought it was sus. At first I was like, damn, China's got some shit. And after like seeing a couple, I was like, okay, I'm seeing enough of these that this is very sus. So I don't know. That's my schizo theory of the day.
A great job. Some of that money has gone straight into the pockets of the Wu Maos, paid internet trolls who are given VPNs to spam pro-government propaganda on TikTok and YouTube.
Are you in the I Hate China Club, where the West is just making up all kinds of bullshit as a bargain chip to suppress China? My wife is from Xinjiang, and you think you know more than I do? Come on, I lived there for years.
These guys seem...
They have definitely gotten better because of the thing, like all the stuff that I'm just talking about. Because I saw a lot of those posts, and like the first one like got me. I'm like, wow, that city looks crazy. What are we doing? And then I realized the propaganda aspect of it. That's wild.
Most of their time trying to fight bad Western press coverage, attempting to convince American teenagers that there ain't no labor camps in Xinjiang, only dancing. The Communist Party have also spent the last few years in the studio, cooking up some sick English language state-funded rap songs about their economic prosperity. No, really.
People coming to Beijing. This is guy looks gloomy. It better bracing in. The time's moving and clock's ticking.
Hey.
Welcome to Beijing.
This is the CCP's attempt at
Hell
soft power,
yeah.
trying to corrupt Western
New sub alert unlocked.
youth into the belief that China is actually fucking sick, yo. While the party's Western
Spit that shit, dog.
wing continues to eat shit, Tencent have actually done a pretty good job exporting Chinese cultural values abroad. In 2019, their minority stake in Activision Blizzard gave them the power to suspend...
How much do they own of Activision Blizzard now? How much does Tencent own? Oh wait, didn't they sell to Microsoft? Yes, they did. They own none of it now.
Pro-gamer Blitzchung after he made a statement in support of the 2019 Hong Kong protests. And it's not just computer games.
Wait, what they do to him?
Blizzard gave them the power to suspend pro-gamer.
Oh right, I remember this. He got banned from a Hearthstone tournament. I think he held up a sign.
After he made a statement in support of the 2019 Hong Kong protests. And it's not just computer games, it's leg games too. In 2015, Tencent signed a $700 million deal with the NBA, giving them exclusive rights to stream all league games, as well as dunk on any team or team owner who crosses the party's foul line. Tencent is also making American movies. They are the money behind Cannibal Spider-Man, Men in Black World Thor, Terminator 6, Transformers Zero, and the upcoming Top Gun sequel, which will inevitably contain none of the gayness that made the original so iconic. This is why we've seen cinema lean into these generic, paint-by-numbers plots, because they're easier to translate to a culturally non-specific audience. And this isn't entirely Tencent's fault. Every other Hollywood studio is also pitching their budget-bloated theme park fodder to the same lucrative Chinese box office. This is also behind the disingenuous trend of big-budget movies shoehorning a line of extractable dialogue mentioning a side character's sexuality. This baits bullshit liberal gossip sites into writing glowing...
Bro, that's crazy. Isn't there a scene of at the end of that Arcane show that got changed for the Chinese release because it was two women kissing, and then in the Chinese version they were like far apart? Or was that an edit that I saw?
The first queer Disney character 5 times in a row, while simultaneously giving studios enough wiggle room to cut that one gay guy out of the movie before it's released east of Tajikistan. These are just small ways that Tencent is helping to export CCP censorship to the rest of the world, but that is nothing compared to what they are facilitating domestically with WeChat.
This is nuts, dude. Oh, God
WeChat
bless
is
the
the
United
one
States of America, dude. I wish I had the eagle on the soundboard.
To rule them all, and in the Great Firewall, bind them. Released in 2011.
Shout out to the US, bro. W-Spawn. WeChat is kind of crazy. I cannot wait to find out. W-Spawn, though. W-Spawn.
One app to rule them all, and in the Great Firewall.
All right, what do you got, WeChat?
Released in 2011, WeChat is now Tencent's premier platform. It quickly became the country's most popular messaging app and is used more for work than email or any competing app. And that's probably because Facebook Messenger, South Korea's Line, and WhatsApp were banned the moment they started to gain traction.
Makes sense.
This has given WeChat 10 years to develop into a super platform that threatens to fulfill your every social, professional, and material need. Or else! It now functions as your driver's license, your bank card, and it's where you pay your landlord, book flights, hotels, and even doctor's appointments. Launched in 20...
Doesn't Japan also use Line? I wouldn't doubt it. I'm pretty sure Japan and South Korea are like very friendly.
13,
like in that kind of way.
WePay has supercharged China's journey towards a cashless society, replacing coins with QR codes, with even the homeless forced to upgrade.
Bro.
With over 1 billion active users, WeChat is now virtually integral to a normal social life in China. Tencent's stated mission is to fulfill every tier on Maslow's hierarchy of needs with just one app, and it is halfway there. And that is pretty impressive and terrifying. But it
That's
also
crazy.
conveniently bundles up all your personal data, all your private messages, and your physical whereabouts for its one true most valued customer. WeChat is also starting to gain traction abroad, including in that squiggly writing paradise of Myanmar, where you can't even post your workout video without accidentally documenting the beginning of a military coup.
Insane timing.
This preliminary infrastructure in place, WeChat is providing the blueprint for any ambitious authoritarian to run their own techno-dystopia.
That shit is terrifying.
Classic. Well, hello there, dear leader, Ayatollah, or God King of all you survey. I'm WeChat's head of dictator outreach, and I'm here to tell you what WeChat can do for you.
Imagine you break the rules and they delete all evidence of you on WeChat. That's, yeah. That's crazy. You can't do anything. You can't go anywhere because you don't have your ID. You can't drive. All right, Platt, sounds good. You can't fucking spend any money because they're cashless society at this point. Fucking absurd. Platt, I appreciate you hanging out. I hope you enjoyed learning about the dystopia over here. Hope you have a good rest of your shift. Dude, that's scary.
Here at Tencent, we like to stay focused on the big picture of your face hanging in every government building by controlling the little pictures that the peasants can send to each other. Using real-time text and image filtering, we are able to censor private messages sent across our platforms. Meaning that any forbidden text or image that is kept in your personal blacklist will fail to even send to its intended recipient. With real-time chat censorship, free speech can be throttled to a whimper, and it may well be the difference between you sitting on your throne or sitting on a bayonet Gaddafi style. I can see that you're skeptical. Of course you are. You're wise and all-knowing. Back in the glory days, if you wanted to disperse a crowd, you could just fire a few live rounds into it. But what if I told you that WeChat can help you round up that crowd before it even forms, keeping your mind at ease and your labour camps full? Since 2014, our pedestrian heat map feature has allowed citizens to avoid crowds on their commute and you to avoid crowds from gathering at your palace gate. Here at Tencent, we are proud of creating games that reward and rank you based on slavish obedience. If only life could be as simple. Well, with WeChat, it can be, as our super platform serves as the essential infrastructure that holds up China's social credit system. Deduct points from any individuals who dare to criticize you on our social media platform, or anyone who fraternizes with foreigners or deadbeats. Lose enough points and you'll be able to ban them from public transport or stop their children from getting into any of the good schools. Or if you're feeling benevolent, you can reward those who praise you online or pay their government debts early with priority access to hospitals.
Didn't they make a movie about this? There's an episode of Black Mirror that's kind of like this. It's about this kind of thing. They probably did. They probably have made a movie on this too.
Counts at hotels. We haven't really got the reward system down pat yet. Remember, it's your world. We just keep it that way. Contrary to earlier predictions, the Great Firewall has only grown taller and sturdier, and WeChat is giving Chinese net users less of a reason.
So why would anyone outside of China use WeChat, bro? What the hell?
Climate. We may feel safe on our internet where anything goatsy, but it's more fragile than we think.
All right.
Since 2014, China's corpo.
I did not need the reminder of that, dude. Forgot that existed.
Internet conference.
Oops.
Since where anything goatsy, but it's more fragile than we think. Since 2014, China's corpo commies have held the annual World Internet Conference.
It's the easiest way to talk to someone from China. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think about international communication.
2014, China's corpo commies have held the annual World Internet Conference, an international event designed to show off the latest in bendy screens and floor-sucking tech. But its main purpose is to sell the idea of cyber sovereignty to other countries who might be receptive to it. Using the language of national security and protectionism, the CCP is gunning to make the rest of the world run the internet like they do. The free internet as we know it is under threat because there are powerful people conspiring in its dark corners who want to divide it up and rule their chunk of it. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Sorry if that video.
Like, even for work, you just WeChat someone? You don't email them? Yeah.
And I don't know where it's going to take me. In this instance, it took me somewhere scary, depressing, and maybe not that funny. But I feel like I owe you the truth, and that is what it was, for better or worse.
Have a like for that one, absolutely.
A little bit more wholesome, either lawns or blimps.
There's a link for anyone that wants it.
Which of those you prefer in the comments below, and like this video, which is now over.
That is fucking crazy. Shout out to free speech. Shout out to the United States and other countries with free speech, bro. My goodness. I would love to keep streaming, but I don't think I have the time to get into anything else at the moment. But that was nuts. That was something. That was something. Let's see if they're still doing the Gooberry stream. Great week to react to that one. So thankful for living where I do. Amen, dude. Listen, we ain't perfect by any means, but free speech is a big one. Assumedly one of the biggest. Some would say the biggest. Goober is not live. I was going to raid Goobery. But anyway, GG's, y'all. Gloppy live? Oh, we get the Gloppy raid. Let's raid Ninja Gloppy. Everybody hit him with some sort of emote. Let me get the raid message going. To get my creator dashboard open. I needed like a better, more streamlined method of rating people. Hit him with the face palm, dude. Yeah, hit him with that. Just hit him with the... I'll give you guys a message to copy paste. Hit him with that. If you're not following, be sure to hit the follow button so you know the next time I go live. Also, the Discord. This is where everyone submits stuff for React Days, and we also hang out and have a great time in there. Don't forget about the Dr. Phil stream. I'll be working on a Google form and a date for that. I think it's going to be a fucking blast. I think it's going to be really, really good. I think it's going to make an amazing stream and just some amazing content, so it's going to be fun. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube. Bye-bye.